Everyone likes to watch a good anime where the main character is transported to another world and gets overpowered. That's why today we are going to see top 10 Isekai Animes with an overpowered main character. I'm 𝐬𝐨𝐫𝐞 and let's get right into it. To start things off, we have the world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. This one is kinda recent, but I can assure you that it is great. As title says, in his previous life our main character was an assassin. In fact, he was the best assassin in the world. He always gave everything that he had to complete missions that the organization gave him. But in the end, he ended up being betrayed by the organization and killed, because he simply knew too much about the organization. The goddess, seeing the skill of our protagonist, decided to give him another try. He reincarnated our protagonist in a fantasy world, with all his memories from his previous life. But in exchange, he needed to kill the hero of the world. This was because after saving the world from the Demon Lord, the hero would be consumed by his powers and destroy the world. I know, it is kinda weird, and our protagonist didn't fully trust the goddess, but he still accepted the mission. In this new life, our main character decided that he would be an assassin as well, but he wouldn't blindly accept the missions that the others gave him. Now he will judge himself, whether it is right or not to kill a person. But well, let's talk about what matters. In this new world, our protagonist got overpowered as hell, because he knew a lot of things from his previous life, and used his knowledge to create powerful spells. He also fell in love with a girl, and two other girls also like him. And now let's get to second anime on the list. Tsukimichi, Moonlit Fantasy. In this show, our protagonist also was transported to a new world by a goddess. But the difference is that this goddess didn't like our protagonist at all. She thought that our main character was ugly, and decided to just give him a weak skill and just drop him off in the world. But well, he was an isekai protagonist, so he obviously got overpowered nonetheless. He got so overpowered that right at first episode, he won a fight against a dragon and made a pact with him. Or her, because she transformed into a little girl. And don't ask me why, this is anime, come on. By the way, this girl will not be the only one. A few episodes later, another girl will also join the party. Both these girls are extremely overpowered, but our main character is even more powerful. Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation. Without no doubt, one of the best isekais ever made. On his previous life, Rudeus was poorly early on. This made Rudeus become an introvert that didn't even leave his room, and it is comprehensible. What they did to him was just horrible. But well, after his parents died, he was kicked out of the house, and he was walking down the streets when he decided to save two people from being hit by the truck. He unfortunately died in the process, and was reincarnated into another world. In this new life, Rudeus decided that he would become a better person, and live the life that he always wanted. He started learning magic from really early on, and became extremely powerful. But well, he's still a pervert by the way. And he fell in love with a girl, or two. Well, it doesn't matter. What matters is that this show is great, and you should definitely give it a try. Spirit Chronicles. This one is also a recent show, but it is also great nonetheless. Our protagonist died in a traffic accident and was reincarnated into another world. In this new fantasy world, he didn't have any luck either. He reincarnated into the body of a poor boy, and he didn't even have family. After almost dying, he luckily found the princess of the kingdom and went to talk to the king. The king obviously decided to compensate him for saving his daughter. As a reward, our protagonist had the opportunity to study at the Royal Magical School, and after studying and practicing a lot, he became extremely powerful, and even awoke the power of a spirit that was inside him. And now, before you awake that like button, let's get to the next anime on the list. I have been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level. The protagonist of this story is the biggest enemy of Rimuru, but well, let's talk about what matters. After dying from overwork, our protagonist was reincarnated into another world as an immortal witch. In this new world, she decided to just relax a bit and live life peacefully. She just killed some slimes every day to have money to live, and that's it, 300 years passed by. After all that years, she realized that she maxed out her level, and a powerful dragon came to fight her. Our protagonist just slapped the dragon in the ass and won the fight. After that, here you go again, the dragon transformed into a little girl that decided to start living with our protagonist. As the anime go on, more girls will start living with her as well, and that's basically it. If you also like slice of life animes, you definitely should watch this one. The Rising of the Shield Hero. If you didn't watch this anime, you are missing out, my handsome weeb, because it is one of the best animes ever made. Naofumi was transported to another world as a hero, alongside with 3 other people, to save the world from monster waves. Each of the heroes had a different weapon, and our main character had the shield. The heroes can only use their legendary weapon, so Naofumi could only use the shield. Everything is normal until now, but now is where things start to get interesting. The heroes formed a group with adventurers from the kingdom, and there was only one person that wanted to form a group with Naofumi. But wait, things will get much worse. This girl that joined the party of our protagonist ended up betraying him, and accused him to the king, saying that Naofumi tried to have sex with her without her consent, which obviously wasn't true. But well, the king believed her. Naofumi was a hero, and the king needed him to save the world, so he couldn't kill him. But one thing is certain, now everyone hates Naofumi, and everyone thinks that he's a bad person. Furthermore, he needs to kill monsters alone, with only a shield. But I can guarantee you that he will become overpowered. If you are interested in how he did that, well, waifu. Demon Lord, Retry. Our main character played a famous MMORPG, and one day he woke up in a world similar to the game that he played, and within the character that he had in the game. Now, in this new fantasy world, he's extremely overpowered, because the character that he had also was overpowered within that game. Right at first episode, our main character will save a girl from a monster, and she will join his party. This girl is literally like Rem, but with blonde hair, so she obviously is cute. This show is about the adventure of the two, and about our main character becoming even more powerful. So now, let's get to the next one. Problem children are coming from another world, aren't they? In this anime, our protagonist was overpowered even before he was transported to another world. He was transported alongside 2 other teenagers that were also extremely overpowered. At their arrival, they found a bunny girl. They explained to them how this world worked. And basically, in this world, they will use their abilities to participate in games. If you didn't watch this show yet, you definitely should consider giving it a try. Overlord. This one is probably my favorite isekai, and if you have been watching anime for some time now, you probably already watched this one. But if you didn't, you are definitely missing out. Just like the other anime on the list, on this one our main character also played a famous MMORPG, and one day he was transported to a world similar to the game that he played, and within the character that he played. Now, he was in a body of an overpowered mage skeleton. He was Lord of the Tomb of Nazarick, and he had a lot of loyal servants. In the game, these servants were just NPCs, but now they came to life and started to show their own personalities. Momonga, our main character, is extremely powerful. Summon Primal Fire Elemental! And his goal is to understand what is happening, and to discover if there is other people like him that were transported to that world. And now let's transport the last enemy on the list. Cautious Hero. The hero is overpowered but overly cautious. On this show, a goddess asked our main character to save a world from destruction. Our main character accepted, but he wasn't ready yet. He was still too weak, so he decided to stay in the realm of gods in order to train himself and become stronger before going into his adventure. He trained and practiced every day, and after a ton of time he was finally ready. And I must say that all this work was worth it. Even though he was transported to the starter city, a powerful enemy appeared right from the start. And even though our main character is overpowered, it was still hard to win against that enemy. And that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed and stay well.